Students, students, as you all know about the new syllabus given by CBSE, they have reduced 30% of the syllabus in each subject. So here also we have some deduction in chemistry portion, that is most of the thing that we have discussed till now is being deleted. Only we have left with elements, compounds, mixture, their types, colloids and suspension. So here elements, compound, mixture, that already we have done, and now I am going to start with the suspension. What do you mean by suspension? Before that, students, if you want to get the new syllabus given by CBSE, you can go through the website of the CBSE, or either you can contact me, then I will give you the new syllabus. Okay, so students, suspension, here we will start with the suspension. As already we have discussed about the solution, that solution is what? It is a combination of solute and solvent, where the solvent it is in more amount and solute are those which is in less amount, is called to be as solute. Whenever we are mixing any of the solute into the solvent, the combination of this is called to be as solution. So here the solute and solvent, when they mix with each other completely, and here we cannot see the particles of the solute with our naked eye or with under the microscope also, so this type of solution is called to be as true solution, where the particle of solute cannot be seen easily. And here we cannot say that what type of solute is added on the solvent. This type of solution is called to be as true solution. But here we do not have more about the true solution. That's why I will start with the suspension. So suspension, it is also a type of solution in which solute and solvent do not mix with each other completely. Here they are not uniformly combined with each other. That's why here the solute particle, they simply settle down at the bottom and we can separate it by any physical method. Here we can take example of mixing of sand into water, or you can also take example of mixing of chalk into water. We know that whenever we are mixing chalk into water, here the mixing do not takes place very uniformly. That's where the particles of the chalk, it simply suspended or settle down at the bottom of the uh, whatever the glass or uh, container we are using for mixing it. So it simply settle down at the bottom. So this type of solution in which the solute and solvent do not mix with each other completely is called to be a suspension. Okay, like heterogeneous solution, we already have discussed about the heterogeneous solution. It is also similar to that. Okay, so now here we will have some of the properties of suspension or characteristics of suspension, that is characteristics of suspension. First, that it is heterogeneous in nature. Heterogeneous means what? Here you can distinguish the particles of the solute, that's why which do not mix with each other completely, that's why it is heterogeneous in nature. Second property, the size of the solute particle in a suspension is greater than 10 to the power minus 7 meter, that is 100 nanometer, and these particles are visible to a naked eye. Here the size of the solute particle is bigger than that of true solution, that's why here we can easily see the particles of the solute with our naked eye only, because the size of the particle is bigger than 100 nanometer. Okay. Third property, the solute particle of a suspension are large enough to scatter a beam of light passing through it and thus make its path visible. See, whenever light falls into any of the solute particle, Sometimes these particles have the tendency to scatter the beam of light, and sometimes they simply allow this to go through without scattering. In case of true solution, here the particles of the true solution is very small, that's why true solution cannot scatter the beam of light. But because in case of suspension the size of particle is bigger than that of the true solution, that's why whenever a beam of light falls into the surface of the particle, they can scatter the beam of light and the path of the light is visible, and this effect is called to be as Tyndall effect. Tyndall effect, it is a type of effect in which the beam of light is scattered. Okay, that is called to be as Tyndall effect. It means this suspension and the particles of the solute, in case of suspension, it has the tendency to scatter a beam of light. Fourth property, the solute particle of suspension settle down when a suspension is allowed to stand undisturbed for some time. This suggests that a suspension is unstable. Okay, means whenever we are keeping the solutions, means suspension type of solution, whenever we are keeping this type of solution for some time without disturbing, so what happen, whatever the solute particle is mixed into the solvent, they simply settle down at the bottom. It means they are not stable, they are unstable in nature, because after for keeping it some time, whatever the solid particle is present and they are moving here and there in the solution, they simply settle down at the bottom. Fifth property, that particle of suspension can neither pass through filter paper nor through vegetable or animal membrane. Therefore, the particle of suspension can be separated from the mixture by the process of filtration. Here in case of suspension, as already I told you, the size of the particle is bigger. That's why whenever we are passing this type of solution through the filter paper or any of the membrane of vegetable and animal membrane, then it cannot pass through the membrane or filter paper, because here the pores which is present in the membrane or the filter paper, this pore, the size of the pore is very small. That's why whatever the solute particle is present into the solution, they simply left out as a residue, so it cannot pass through the filter paper. And here we can separate the particles of the solute from the solvent by the process of filtration. Next, particles of suspension do not diffuse. Diffuse means diffusion. Diffusion, it is a property in which intermixing of two substances can take place. So here, because the particles of this solute is bigger, that's why they do not diffuse. Okay. Next, a suspension is opaque. Opaque, we know that transparent, translucent, and opaque. Opaque, it is a type in which we cannot see the other side of the substance. Okay, like if we are standing in front of any wall, then we cannot see behind the wall. That is called to be as opaque. Okay, which do not let the light to go through that. That is called to be as opaque. So a suspension is opaque. So these are the following properties or 7 properties of suspension. After that, we have the last topic of this chapter, that is called to be as colloids. Okay, what do you mean by colloid? Colloid, it is also a type of solution which has some of the property of solution, true solution, and some of the property of suspension. That's why it is called to be as colloids. Now we will go through some of the properties of colloids, but here before going to the properties, here we should know that colloids, like whenever we are talking about the substance or the solution in which solute and solvent mix with each other to form solution, but in case of colloids, whenever we are talking about this one, here the solute is called to be as dispersed phase and the solvent is called to be as dispersion medium. Here the we are calling these things in different name, but the actually the meaning of these two are same. Dispersed phase is called to be as solute and dispersion medium is called to be as solvent. So now we have to go to the properties of colloid or characteristics of colloids. First characteristics of colloid, that heterogeneity means colloids, it is a type of solution which looks like homogeneous but actually it is heterogeneous. It seems to be homogeneous but actually they are heterogeneous. Here you can take example of our blood. Whenever we are seeing our blood, here we cannot see anything else present in the blood, but actually we have lots of things present in our blood. That is our plasma, that is our platelets. Okay, these all are present inside our blood, but we cannot see that the substance is present in that. That's why it looks like homogeneous but actually it is heterogeneous. We can also take example of milk. Milk is also colloid. Why? Because in milk also we have something present, some type of dispersed phase are present, but we cannot see these, the size, the particles into the milk, because here the intermixing takes place very completely. That's why it looks like homogeneous, but here the size of the particle little bigger than that of homogeneous solution. That's why it has the tendency to scatter the beam of light. So it seems to be homogeneous but actually it is heterogeneous in nature. Okay. Stability, if we are talking about the stability of the colloidal solution, so colloidal solution, they are quite stable in nature. Sometimes they may be stable, sometimes they may not be stable. Like if we are talking about the milk, so milk is stable, it is colloid but here milk is stable. It means whenever we are keeping milk for some time, here the water, whatever the amount of water is available into the milk, they do not get separated by their own. Okay, so it is, here we can say that milk are stable. But if we are talking about a solution of soap, in which soap and water mix with each other, it is also an example of colloids. So whenever we are keeping this one for some time, here they means here we can see the difference. Some particles of soap, they just comes above the surface, and whatever the water is available, they just settle at the bottom. Okay, so here they are called to be as quite stable in nature, because here the size of the particle, if we are talking about the size of the particle in case of colloid, so here the size of the particle is between the true solution and the suspension, because the in case of true solution the size of particle is very less, that is below 1 nanometer, and in case of suspension the size of particle is bigger than 100 nanometer. So if we are talking about the colloids, here the size of the particle in is in between 1 nanometer to 100 nanometer. So here the range is very high. It may be 1.5 nanometer, it may be 99 nanometer. Okay, so if the size of the particle is 1.5 nanometer, या 1.2 nanometer, it seems to be homogeneous. But if the size of the particle is 99 nanometer, though it seems to be heterogeneous. Though they are colloids, that's why it is said that colloids, it seems to be homogeneous, but actually they are heterogeneous. Filterability, it means the quality to get passed through the filter paper. Here also colloid particles pass through ordinary filter paper. The particle do not pass through the parchment and the other fine membrane. Here sometimes the colloids have the tendency to pass through the filter paper very easily, but we have different type of membrane, or that is called to be as vegetable membrane or animal membrane. So through the ordinary filter paper it can easily pass, but whenever we are passing it through a special type of paper or membrane, then it do not pass through that. That's why here also we can say that, because they are following the property of both, that's why sometimes they may pass through the ordinary filter paper, but whenever we are using some special type of membrane, they are not, they do not pass through that membrane. Okay. Visibility, again here we can say that if we are talking about the visibility, the colloidal particles are neither visible to a naked eye nor under an ordinary microscope. Okay, because again as I told you earlier, the size of the colloidal particle sometimes it may be bigger, sometimes it may be smaller. So it it is not possible for those type of colloid in which we have very small size of particle, so we cannot see the particles with a naked eye. Okay, in case of colloid mostly it does happen that we cannot see the size of the particle in case of colloids with the naked eye. But if we are talking about the Tyndall effect, so here the size of the particle is very small that we cannot see with the naked eye, but the size of particle is little bigger than that of true solution, that it allow the Tyndall effect, or it shows Tyndall effect. Means whenever the light falls into the surface of the particles in case of the colloidal solution, so it scatter a beam of light. Okay, so it shows Tyndall effect. So it means that with the help of these all properties of the colloid, it is proved that it has some of the properties of true solution and some of the property of suspension. That's why we call it as colloids. Here we also have different type of colloids that I don't think these all are given in your syllabus. Then also let me check once again if these question will be there in your syllabus, then we will discuss these all things in the next class. Otherwise we will start new chapter after this class. Okay, thank you so much students.